Okay, so instead of just talking aimlessly, I wanted to just go to your event and create a video to just like walk through and kind of critique at the same time. And then we could look at my new title party and see what happened. Now, obviously, I've been doing this for 2 years. I have a lot more people to ask to come to my event than you do. So that is, something to definitely take into consideration. However, I briefly scrolled through and there's a couple things that I think we can critique to make your event just as successful. So your recommendations look great. Ages and interests. You did the pre-party post. That looks perfect. And then I don't know what happened here. So if you changed it, that could be a factor into why it wasn't as successful. But I would never post something like this. You make the decision. You're the consultant. If you want to change it, what I would do is just change it and then just message everybody and say, hey, change of date, and move on. Because it's just like any party. You're never going to get, like when you're trying to get 5 people together, you're never going to get all 5 people to decide on a date. Like, it's just not going to happen. So you just decide, make the change, and then message everybody. But again, if you did change it, that could have changed why your party wasn't doing as well. Okay, anytime I post anything on the page, I always include a graphic because it's more likely that people are going to stop perusing through their newsfeed if there's a picture. So this is all someone's seeing on their newsfeed. If they're a part of this event, they may see this. They're just going to flick right through it because there's no graphic. So be sure to include a graphic if you want to do something like that. Like losing my voice. This is great. Perfect. Let's see if everything looks okay here. Yep, that looks perfect. Okay, so I would get rid of this post. I would save it for the end of the party where you're offering to host. Like the post is usually post 6 right before the recruiting post. Because we don't even know. Yeah, you don't want to bog people down with too many posts or too many ways to put it out there that you want them to host. The best possible way to get people to host is through private message. Occasionally I get people to post on the post that says like, do you want to host a party? But not often. I get all my parties from asking people in private messages. Okay. So this looks good. Got our welcome. Okay, and I saw you tagged some people here. So to make it more personal, I always add a comment here like, Rebecca W, like, we would love for you to join us, exclamation mark. And then, so that was, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you had, okay, so you just tagged the people who clicked going. Okay, we'll talk about that more in a minute. So post 1 looks good. Post 2 looks good. So you're the only one who commented on this. So you should tag Leanne and you should tag Rebecca and Debbie on post 2 and just say something like, hey, if you couldn't find it, here's post 2. And then, you definitely want to welcome all of your guests and you want to respond on their comments. You want to make sure that this feels like it's an actual in-person party, because if it was an in-person party, you'd be talking to them. You would be trying to get information about books. You would be making suggestions throughout the party. So you want to be as interactive as possible. So commenting on their posts and then re-tagging them in post 2. Okay, post 3 looks good, but we didn't get anyone to comment on it. Okay, this looks good. Got one person to message you. Okay, that looks good. That looks good. That looks good. The one thing I did for mine, and we can look at it here in a second, is I did include like reasons that I joined, or things I've spent money on. Like what has Usborne done for you? I know you just started, but so think about like what is it going to do? What are your goals? And like how excited you were to join. Like what were your join goals? And then there wasn't a graphic here that you added, so I'm not sure what happened here. So you want to make sure you add the graphic. That looks good. Day after looks good. That looks good. Okay, so let's spend the bulk of our time talking about okay, I wouldn't even post this. Okay, so okay, again, no graphic. Okay, so let's talk about some things that you could have done to get these people moved over from 28 invited to going. And you may have already done these things, but let's just like go over them. Okay, so as soon as you add people to the event, I go back and message them and say like, hey, I added you to the event. Don't forget to RSVP going. You can message them through the event because it's my mystery host party and I typically just message them and add them. I do it right then in Messenger. I just click add them, go right back to their message, and I comment like, don't forget to RSVP. If Facebook's not being poopy, I also add the link so they can click really quickly and hit going. So that's one way. The second way is to tag them on some of the pre-party posts. So you could have tagged them on, let's go down here. You could definitely tag them on this post. What is the mystery host party about? How they can get rewards, to try and get them to hit going. Okay, let's just briefly look at my party, and that might make me think about a couple other things. Okay, so I always like to put my face out there under the recommendations, my kiddos. Okay, got a few people to comment, not a lot on there. Party time, same as yours. I added a couple extra pre-party posts. I gave away free shipping. My welcome post. Okay. See how I'm commenting on every single person? Like, welcome, welcome. So excited you're here. Your personality is already in touch with like making connections with people. Just add that to your parties because I know you have it. Okay, so all that looks the same as yours. Alright. Okay, so there's the last call graphic that someone posted that you could add. Okay, everything pretty much looks the same. Okay, so the other thing is if you aren't getting these 28, now I'm assuming you sent private messages to all of these people and they all said yes. I guess we should go back to that. Like, were all these people private messaged? And they all said yes. So if you aren't getting people to hit going, you need to send out more messages. You just need to keep sending. So, we talked about during your lunch, 80 people going, or 80 people message is 25 people going. 12 people that actually come to the party, and like 6 people who ordered. So if you're not getting the people, you just got to keep messaging. This business is really all about grit and just continuing to message. So the same with getting hostesses. Like if you don't get one and you've messaged 10 people, message 10 more. If you don't get it, message 10 more until you get one party. So I would just continue to message people to get them over. So the 3 tidbits that I think that I've talked about are: 1, make sure you send private messages, which I'm pretty sure you did. 2, message them after you add them to the event so that they RSVP going. And 3, send out more messages. So let me know what you think. I'm not going to keep this video active for so long because it does post on my private YouTube, so I'm going to delete it after you view it. So let me know when you view it, and I will delete it. And then let me know what questions you have.